Welcome back to part 3. So the first 2 videos we washed in the first video. Second video we clayed the paint and we prepared the surface for paint correction and wax. So now this video is going to be on paint correction, polishing, whatever you want to call it, and possibly wax. Just depends on how long this video is. I might make a 4th video on the wax part. So let's do it. Here's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using the Boss G21 that the Velcro is sticking to the microfibers. We're going to be using 5.5-inch Boss foam correcting pads. We're going to be using correcting cream, Boss correcting cream, and then our pre-wax cleanser. And then these towels. These are the Shiney Details towels. Now I can actually show you guys this removing polish. I have not done it yet. I've only removed the one-step sealant with it, but it worked great. I mean, worked awesome. Don't be afraid of these towels just because they say China on them. These things so far have been great, and they're really soft. So we will get started here. Okay, I'm going to be using the Astro 50 SL once again. Hoping that the camera picks this up so I can do a before and an after. See all those swirls up there? I'm going to do this part of the hood first with the correcting cream. I do not think perfecting cream, once again, is going to touch it. Perfecting cream is mainly a very mild polish you use, and I'm looking at all those swirls. A mild polish you use when you're done, almost completely done with correcting the paint. You're actually at that point perfecting it, making it even glossier before you actually add your wax. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be using correcting cream. And we're going to find out how this works. So this is the first time you're doing any type of paint correction or polishing. Your polish that you use, whatever it is you use, you want to shake it up. Shake it up good. And I got a brand new, or not brand new, it's clean, 5.5-inch foam pad. And the first time you want to butter. That's what I love about these dome tops that Griot sells, that's on their polish bottles and their wax bottles. Now I learned from the first time I used this machine not to put as much when I'm buttering, because I did kind of sling it a little bit. But you want to get the majority of all these open cells the first time when you're priming the pad, and then from there we'll put just dots on. So let's go to work here. We're going to start out on speed 1, and then I'm going to move it up to a 4 or a 5. Speed 1 is just to get your product spread out real good. Okay, we're going to move it up. I'm going to go about 4. And remove the polisher just as it's coming to a stop. Otherwise you're going to fling it everywhere. And this is what it's going to look like. See that? There's no reason to leave this on the paint at all. Polish you want to remove immediately. So here we go. Here comes the big test with the Chinese details, the made in China towel. That works. That works so good. That works just as good as my Griot's garage towels that are made in South Korea. Honestly. I mean, that works really, really well. Don't know how long they're going to last. I'll find that out obviously as I go. But, I mean, that worked great. It's all off, no problem. Hardly any effort at all. As you can see. Let me get my light. This paint's gonna look awesome. Let's see, right about there is where that big smudge was of a swirl. It is no longer there. Now I'm watching my light, so hopefully I'm getting this. What you're seeing is the bright light off there. Those are not swirls. Let me turn it down a little bit. Yeah, there, it's not so bright. Those are not swirls at all. I mean, this is perfect. Awesome. Finish the hood. I know the hood is the one part that I know that they wanted me to get good correction out of since it had just been replaced at the dealer. I'll raise you guys up a little bit. It had just been replaced at the dealer and it looks like they kind of wet sanded it, didn't get all the marks off of it. So that's where I come into play. So, second time, I can't see my screen. Second time, if you watched my videos before, you already know what's coming. But if you haven't, this is what we do. Some small dots, because this is already wet. Probably show. I don't know if the camera picks that up or not. My finger is a little wet because this is already wet. It's primed and ready. Now with this Boss machine, I can leave it on the speed that I normally use, which is going to be a speed 4. And I can lightly feather the trigger to get it spread out, so I'm not constantly going 1, 4, 1, 4. I can lightly be like this. Just get it spread out. And I can go full bore, hit the lock button, lock it in place. Just let the machine do the work. I'm gonna try to hold the camera still so you guys can see me wipe it off. Let's see. There, let's just go up here. No dust. Wipes off really, really easy, and it's all the way off. It is, oh, it's so smooth, it feels so nice. See? It's off. These Shiny Details towels, I'm telling you, they are worth $15 to get 20. I mean, they just, there's no question in my mind that they're worth that. Let's move on now. We'll go to the front of the hood. One thing I didn't say earlier is when you detail or when you're polishing, you want to do it in a crosshatch pattern. You notice I went up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Side, 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 up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Side, 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 side. That's how you polish. That way you are getting every square inch of the paint. You're not missing anything, because if you miss something going this way, Now you're bringing it back this way, and you're catching anything that you might have missed. And if you missed something going that way on the first pass, now you're going to catch it coming back this way. So that's how you polish paint. Alright, let's do this lower half of the hood. And also another thing I ought to mention, cord always over the shoulder. I always forget to say that in my videos. Cord over the shoulder. You don't want to drag across the paint because it will scratch, smudge, look bad. My wife's pulling in the driveway, so hopefully she doesn't knock you guys over. I don't know if you guys noticed, I think I said this a minute ago, there's no dust. If you ever use a product that does, man, are they a pain in the butt. It gives you extra cleaning to do after, get all the dust off of it. Oh, this paint's turning out amazing. Ah, it's got a rock chip already right there in the middle of the hood. Okay, so before I forget in this video, as you're polishing the car, correcting the paint, whatever, and this is in focus, there we go. I already got my dots on there. You're gonna start noticing a buildup of the polish, and also the buildup you see on here is actually the clear coat that you're removing off the paint. It's very minute. Naked eye can't even tell how much clear coat you're removing. It's very, very minute. As long as you don't, sit in one spot and hold it and hold it and hold it, try to get something. If you move, you're fine. It's perfectly safe. What I use is a brush that I got from Griot's Garage. It is made for this, and turn on speed 1. And as it's going, as it's spinning, I just do this. And I notice you'll see all the dust and everything coming out of the pad. It makes the pad last a little bit longer because I can usually get work out of. I can usually do like a hood and a fender and a door out of one pad. Then I get another one, another door, a fender, the rear, another pad. I usually go through anywhere between 4 and 6 pads. On this Boss machine, I'm actually been able to get away with just 4, so it's been pretty good. But I do notice though that this Boss pad gets a lot hotter than the 8mm machine that I have, the Griot's Garage 6-inch machine. It gets hotter to the touch, so just be aware of that if you're using the Boss machine. Whatever machine you're using, just make sure you move frequently. You don't stay in one spot and just hammer on the paint. Okay, let's finish this part of the hood. Surely you can see yeah, you can see that on there. Still using the same one that I started with at the Shiny Details towel. In fact, I haven't even folded it over yet. I just keep flipping like this. Oh, works so good. Okay, I'm done talking about it. Okay, now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get a pre-wax cleanser. We're gonna cleanse the whole hood. Basically what that means is if there's any leftover polish that I missed wiping off, because trust me, it happens, the pre-wax cleanser will get it, because if you don't get the polish off and you throw a wax over it, you're always going to see a dull spot in your paint. And you can use isopropyl alcohol. People have been using that for years, but if you use it on your car all the time, every time you do a detail, it can dry your clear coat out, so just keep that in the back of your mind. And once I get done wiping this off, I'll get you guys off the tripod and we'll take a really close look at the paint. I'll tell you right now, just by looking at it, these lights that I got off of Amazon are amazing for paint correction. I can tell you right now, looking at it, it's going to look really, really good. It's starting to heat up out here. I was at my son's baseball game at 9 o'clock this morning, and when I got home it's still only 68 degrees, but now it's almost 1:30 and it's starting to bake out here. So I'll probably put some of this in time lapse mode so I can turn the fan on, have radio going, and Because if I don't put in time-lapse mode, the fan's just gonna be really annoying. Yeah, my rag is still really wet. There we go. Light. Let's take a peek, shall we? Neighbor's mowing, so it might get noisy. Yep. Okay. Right on cue. Oh, this paint is gonna look so nice. Look at this paint. That pearl is amazing. It is gonna look so good in the sun. Now what? See, raise it up, raise your head up. I'm acting like the camera's my head. And then I'll get down, turn the light, twist it. Look for imperfections. What you're seeing there is a glare, that little blue, that's not scratches. Oh, this thing. The sun is gonna make this thing just, oh, it's gonna be crazy. Of course, I remember when I did it last year, it looked really, really good in the sun. So there's the hood. The hood's done. I'm gonna adjust you guys up here a little bit. I just thought of something that I wanted to say. So when you're correcting the paint on a car, and you have a scratch, if you can feel the scratch with your fingernail catches it. It's through the clear coat and through the paint, it's down to the primer. There's nothing you can do about that. If you try to sit there and get that out, you're not going to, and you're just going to ruin the paint even more. That's something that either needs touch-up paint or needs to be repainted. Now, if you're going after a scratch or a swirl mark, you're actually not removing the swirl, or you're not removing the scratch. What you're doing is, so you've got a scratch that's, let's say it's a V-shaped, right? And then it's flat here, it's flat here. What you're doing is you're leveling the clear coat around that scratch to be the exact same level as where the scratch was. And that makes that disappear, because the human eye loves flat objects like this hood. And the way the light reflects off of it, well, when you're looking at a hood that's flat, and when the sun's hitting it, your eye picks up the scratch immediately, because it's not flat no more, so your eyes pick it up immediately. So basically you're leveling the scratch, and I don't think I've ever mentioned that in any of my videos, but that's, you're not removing the scratch, you're just leveling the areas around the scratch. And that's polishing. You're removing the clear coat, I'm leveling this entire hood. And that's why it's so reflective and so glossy to the human eye when you're looking at it, because now it's perfectly level when I get done. So, okay, well, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so I decided this is the last panel that I'm going to show, and then I've really got to get going on this, get this thing done. Here's the fender, right front fender. If you can see those swirls right there, I can see them pretty good right here in person. Wasn't planning on doing a full correction on this car, but I'm not going to do a halfway job on anybody's car, including my own. I treat every car like it's my own. So there's a before.
You're done.
Okay, thank you. I'll be in just a second. My wife just made me a sandwich because I'm hungry. I'll get this thing going. And like I said, it's a little after 1:30, and I need to get this thing done tonight. I'm sure I can have it for tomorrow. I'm sure they wouldn't care, but I'd like to get it done and have a day off. Oh, sorry. Ran into you with my stool. Yeah, you're still there. Hopefully I didn't lose focus. I didn't get a chance to look at the camera while I was doing it. Now, the whole time I was down here towards the bottom, I could see my pad touching the tape, and that's why I put the tape on there. Just spray some pre-wax cleanser on there so you know exactly what it's going to look like. when you spray a pre-wax cleanser, isopropyl alcohol, whatever it is you use, that's what the panel's going to look like when you're done, when you put a wax on. I don't use, I've said this before, but if you've never watched any of my videos, I don't use any waxes that have fillers. When I get done polishing the car, that is what this paint is going to look like when I put a wax on it and I take it out there in the sun. If I use a filler, a wax with a filler, then yes, wax is going to make the paint look better. But the paint is going to look just like this when I take it out there after I put a wax on. The wax might give it a little bit extra gloss, but it's not going to cover up any imperfections in the paint. Like I always say, what you see is what you get with the products that I use. And I have no problem with glazes, as long as you tell the person you're doing the car for that you're using a glaze. It's going to cover up imperfections. Or before a car show, just to get the extra pop out of the paint. And here I am talking, look, this looks so much better. So that's it. I mean, that's how I polish paint every single time. I don't change the way I polish from car to car. I treat every car exactly the same. Now, I'm gonna turn the camera off because the battery's about to die. I need to charge it. I need to get the rest of this car done. So we're gonna end up wrapping this video up here in just a second. Well, that's gonna do it for the paint correction video. Use Griot's Garage Correcting Cream along with my Boss G21, and then I also used Griot's Garage Fast Correcting Cream with my 3-inch polisher with a 2-inch conversion back there on the tailgate. In fact, that might not even be in this video. That might be in the next video, so you might know what's coming up, because I don't know how long these videos are going to be, and it may be a 4 or 5 part video. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button while you're down there, hit that little bell so every time I upload a video you will be notified, and we will see you next time.